Okay, hello and welcome everyone. We are here at another episode of our ISHRAE Days, where we interact with the past and the present of ISHRAE student members as well as professional members, their journey from campus to offices to the ISHRAE events and everything around them. So I'm indeed very lucky and happy to have one of my juniors since the college days and in ISHRAE as well, whom I've seen achieve great heights. And I'm hopeful that all of you will also find a lot of knowledge through this interaction and his journey through the college and the ISHRAE days. So let's not delay anymore, and let me introduce to you Mr. Ramesh Karthick, who is presently at Johnson Controls-Hitachi Air Conditioning, India, and as an engineer. So he joined, if I'm correct, you joined this year, you passed out this year and joined this year, right? So yeah. Very new to the industry, yet as you will hear from him, you will understand how much of an experience, how much of maturity he has in all the things he does. So before going into the ISHRAE days and everything, let's ask you how it has been from your campus days to the industry, like what difference or maybe what is the same things, whatever it is, how has the transition been from your campus to your industry?
Okay. So, when we see the transition from school to college, it is not, that different when it comes, from school to college. But college to industry, it is really a very big jump. And I really felt it because it is completely, this experience is completely different. And at the same time, this is priceless. And, when I first came to the industry, I was completely confused. Like, I thought like this is a different world altogether. It is completely different from what we studied in our books. And mostly what I felt personally was all the practical things, the practical, be it projects or be it site visits, everything that was non-academic is something which is helping me out here. The extracurricular activities, what I did. So that is more, what plays a role here when you come to the industry. So currently, as you said, I'm working in Johnson Controls-Hitachi, and here I am posted as an engineer. So I am basically deputed in the shop where we manufacture all the system tubing parts of an air conditioner. The suction pipe, the liquid pipe, all that we manufacture in our department. So here my role is basically to, manage the manpower, do the, daily planning of manufacturing and taking care of that shop floor to which I am deputed to. So here it is completely like the manpower handling part is completely different. I had never done it in the past. So I had come here with something else, thinking, in that mood of academia only. But here what I'm learning and what I'm noticing is it is completely different from what I thought. Yet it is interesting, and each day I'm getting something new to learn. So it's really a good experience. Yeah.
So as you mentioned about the handling the manpower and everything, I know it's a lot different from what happens at colleges or in schools, but has the experience in your college extracurriculars or ISHRAE events and everything, like where you had the responsibilities, managing a lot of things, has that helped in any way?
Yeah, absolutely. I can say, if I would not have gone through those experiences, I think here things would have been further more difficult for me. So I would just like to recall one. Experience where I had been a part of the organizing committee of ISHRAE Job Junction for 2 consecutive years. So in the first place, doing the job yourself is comparatively easy than when compared to getting it done by the others. So those 2 years of experience of conducting the ISHRAE Job Junction, where I had to get the work done, is something which gave me the experience to handle the things here. So, I really owe a lot to ISHRAE, and it has really taught me a lot of things, which I'm using here also in my day-to-day activities.
So since you said a lot about ISHRAE and how it has influenced you, we would like to know that how were you introduced to ISHRAE, first thing. Second is that when you were introduced, how has the journey been in terms of the roles and responsibilities which you are entrusted in ISHRAE?
So I had heard about ISHRAE in the first year of my engineering itself, but we are completely new in the first year, and we are generally very resistant to the new things which come our way. But in the second year, I became a bit more acquainted with ISHRAE. You were one of them who had spoke a lot about ISHRAE to us, to we juniors, And I had also heard from our faculty advisors and from our other seniors. So overall, I will not say that in the first day itself, I had I had very high hopes and views about ISHRAE, but overall, what I felt was that ISHRAE will give me a platform. When we join our college, we are just like, the aircraft manufactured and ready. So we need a runway to launch ourselves. So ISHRAE, I felt in the first place, gave us, it has that potential to give all of us that runway to get launched. So through all those experiences which were shared to us by our seniors and the motivation given to us by our faculty advisors, and the very fact that the various contests and the a plethora of events what ISHRAE organizes, so those motivated me to join ISHRAE. And I joined ISHRAE in my second year itself in 2017. And I have been a part of ISHRAE as a student member for 3 years, throughout my college time. And I started working in ISHRAE in our college student chapter, ISHRAE IM student chapter, as a volunteer. So in the consecutive years, in the coming year, I was bestowed on with the responsibility of the secretary of the chapter in 2019-2020. And in 2018-2019 session and 2019-2020 session, I was entrusted with the responsibility of the president. So I really enjoyed working in ISHRAE, and it really taught me a lot of things like, time management. When it comes to the industry, time management is something which really we all need to know and we need to do in our day-to-day activities. Apart from that, the way I'm speaking, my public speaking abilities were not so up to the mark. I was a bit very calm and composed. So ISHRAE gave me a lot of opportunities to explore that also. And in a nutshell, if I had to say, I found a new me, through the opportunities which I had come through in the 3 years of association with ISHRAE. And I really got a lot of opportunities to explore myself also. So yeah, that was how it is.
So for the knowledge of the audience, Karthik has also been recently, for the past 1 year, he has been part of the ISHRAE Kolkata student activities team, which I'm also a part, and we work together, and I know how efficient and how hardworking he is. And for the knowledge of the audience as well, would you like to tell them, like, you were part of the ISHRAE IM student chapter, right? Over there, the posts that you held for the audience, if you would say.
Yeah, as I said in ISHRAE IM in 2018-2019 session, I was the secretary of the chapter, and 2019-2020 session, I was the president of ISHRAE IM student chapter.
Okay. So there goes the journey. Started off as a volunteer, then hearing from senior college faculties. I remember part of the committee, student activities committee, which is like the dream journey. Like every step he has, stepped on every step, climbed it beautifully to reach there. So the next, as we went through the responsibilities, the roles and responsibilities of your ISHRAE days as a student and as a professional, another aspect of ISHRAE, as we all know, are the competitions, right? The national and the zonal competitions. And you have been, a flag bearer of the Eastern India of ISHRAE Kolkata. Most people who are associated with ISHRAE knows that. So take us to the journey of all the competitions, how much of it, not only like winning, but also the participation, how much of it has helped you, in what ways?
Right. Yeah, so as said by you rightly, that winning is never important, and I never eyed on the awards or what I would get if I do this. The only motivation I think even I had, and all of us should possess, and that is learning. Because in a contest, we should never look at the contest as winning or losing. We should always look at it as winning or learning. And you are on the benefit side in either cases. So my journey of competitions in ISHRAE was a very interesting one. It started with Recon 2017. So Recon 2017, it was, our team won the first position there. But I would not feel shy in saying that I did not have, much of contribution in Recon 2017. I was still in my second year, and it was my seniors who I don't know what they saw in me. They just wanted to give me a chance to explore myself and make me ready for the next session. So I was writing my semester exam in my college, and here my seniors were presenting the final presentation of the contest. And in the evening, I get a call that our team has won the first position. So that was how I started off. I was not even present at the venue in my first contest. So And in the next 2 years, then I took it as a moral responsibility that the learning which my seniors have given to me, I have to use it, and I have to prove, and I have to pass on that learning to my juniors as well. So in the coming 2 years also, I participated in Recon 2018 and 2019. So in line with Recon, as we know, there is another design challenge, which is NSDC. So NSDC also I participated for 2 consecutive years, NSDC 2018 and 2019. And, it was God's grace or it was good teamwork, whatever you may call. But NSDC and Recon are very, very special to me because these two contests have never let me return empty-handed. So NSDC and Recon have been too kind on me. And especially these two design challenges are something which will give you most of the practical exposure, because ISHRAE will give you all the site visits, all the technical talks, but you need to use that learning somewhere. So for that also the society or the organization is giving you an opportunity. So these two contests are really something, it will boost you up technically if you really do it properly. So next we have the ISPG and RepFold. I had participated in ISPG and RepFold too and tried to give my best. And from those two also I got a lot of good learning. You basically get to know how much your research ability, up to what mark your research ability is there. So these two contests give you an opportunity to explore that segment, the research segment. Next was the AQuest. So AQuest again is something which is very special to me. But AQuest is even more special than all the other contests because AQuest is something which lifted me up to a certain height. It dropped me to the bottom, and then again it gave me a final boost. And it is only through AQuest that I'm here today. I'm working in Hitachi today. So AQuest first I participated in my second year in AQuest 2018. So there, after the quarterfinals, it was good. In semi-finals again, the graph went down. And I had an opportunity to go to the finals in Bangalore, but there again, things didn't go well. So again, in the next attempt of AQuest, which was in 2019. So 2019, I did not even qualify prelims. I was out in the first round itself. So that was a heartbreak for me because AQuest is something which is really, really very special to me. And I had always watched, I had never watched that contest. I had always played it. So the first time sitting and watching it as an audience was a bit not acceptable to me. So I took it as a challenge that next year I have to win AQuest. And I had, put in as much, efforts as much as possible. And AQuest 2020 was finally, a dream come true. And finally I achieved what I wanted. So we emerged as the first position in the national level, me and my, my teammate Sagar and myself. So that was an amazing experience, and the recognition and the amount of appreciation that you get even boosts you up more. That keeps you going, and that builds up your motivation to a further higher extent. So this was, an overall this journey about the contest, and each contest has something to teach you. We should not keep an eye on the award. We should always keep on what the contest is, why is it designed in that manner, and what ISHRAE is trying to teach us through those contests. So if you keep your view on that, I think you will surely get something out of the two, as I stated. So that was how it was.
Okay, yes, and I still remember like your AQuest successes were instant hit. You were a hit in ISHRAE, and not just in Kolkata, throughout India, you were a hit, and there was a buzz everywhere. Karthik, the Wonder Boy, and you still are one of us. So I'm proud of that as well. So yeah, so moving on. Do you think students should join ISHRAE? And if your answer is yes or no, whatever it is, it might be, why? Like it sounds like a exam question, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, yes, the answer is, of course, it is a big yes, that yes, students should join ISHRAE. And why I say this, because, as I have said in certain other places also, that ISHRAE, according to me, it gives a complete life cycle which is required for a student life. We get opportunities from technical talks and site visits to get the learning. ISHRAE is basically something which bridges a gap between industry and academia. Because right now, being in the industry, I can see that only reading books in the core works of the classroom will not help you sail through in the industry, in the practical life. So ISHRAE gives you an opportunity, and it acts as a bridge between the industry and academia. So it will give you the opportunities like site visits and technical talk, where we get to learn. The learning part is done. So after learning, we need to use those learnings somewhere in our day-to-day activities. So again, for that, we have a variety of contests which has from research to design to quiz, everything you have covered. It's completely a combo pack. So by the time you are passing out, in your fourth year, so you will see that, uh, if now when I look back, I see what I was and what I am today. So in a nutshell, in short, what I want to say is it will make you completely industry ready through the various experiences which it has. Of course, certain experiences will not be good. Certain times you will feel like giving up, but in some technical talks and side visits, you will feel bored. But ultimately, when you actually go through the topic, you will recall all those moments, what you had studied, what you had heard. The words which you don't understand in the first instance are the words which hit you when you read about them later. So in that way, if we try to take the learnings and all, so I think ISHRAE will make you completely industry ready. And as I had said in Equest also in Equest 2020, that ISHRAE is that magic wand which can change your life like it has changed mine. So it is that magic wand. So all the students must get connected and they should feel the magic which ISHRAE has.
Yes, right. And mostly or many a times you do not see, the magic wand works, it's magic, but maybe you cannot see what the magic is. So
So
like what
very
is that? It's not always that, like people think I get the membership, what is my direct outcome I'm getting? But many a times you get indirect outcomes. Like tell you one of my experiences, when I first participated in Record, I was lucky enough in 2016, we won that year, right? But that's not the main point. My point was that, like what I felt at that moment, and I feel today as well, that when I went up on the stage, there were industry, stalwarts of industry, and they're giving their time to listen to you. I'm that time what class? Second or third year. So I'm a second, third year college student, and the industry stalwarts are sitting, giving you their time, listening to you. That in itself is a huge thing.
very
And
yeah.
trust me,
We do, and
when I
we don't
went,
get that everywhere.
we don't get that everywhere. And when I went for next time for the placements and all, the faces are familiar because of ISHRAE. So it's many people might think that like I'm in third year now, what is the effect I'm getting? But you might get that outcome in fourth year. You might get that in the first year of your professional career. So that is it. That is the thing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
so next.
that is what all the students need to understand, that you will not, something which you get easily and immediately is not everlasting. But ISHRAE will give you the effect at a later stage. But you need to
Yes.
wait and give time, time to the society also and time to yourself also to get explored and to explode both. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. So having said that, let's, like this year also the national events are out. The notifications are out. Students are preparing vehemently everywhere. So you having that experience for the past so many years, what would be your advice for the national and the zonal events, for all the events, starting from NSGC to SRPG to Equest? What will be your advice to them for these competitions?
The basic advice would be, please go and, to all the student members and my juniors in ISHRAE, that please participate in all the contests. Because if you just focus on the job part of the thing, you will never be able to crack it. I might sound negative, but this is a practical fact. Mostly people focus on the outcome, but you need to do a lot of homework before getting that outcome. You need to walk that way through to get to your destination. So most people, they don't want to walk. We have flights in life, in real life, but when it comes to the career thing, there is no flight. You have to walk the road down. So the students should participate in all the contests. And as I can see already, the surge of interest has begun. I just shared last week I had an opportunity to interact with the college, it's the student chapter of the South. They wanted a session regarding NSDC. So the surge the movement has already begun. So it is high time now, and especially the students who are in third and fourth years, it's a very good chance to participate. And one thing we all must remember again is, don't focus on what outcome you will get. Just focus on what task you need to do and what learnings you are getting from it, from the day-to-day activities, what you're doing related to the competitions also. So of course, it is a yes to participate in all the contests and never lose hope, because one contest is not going to decide what your career will be. If you win, it is good. If you don't, you will learn something. So we should look, at it should not be winning or losing. As I said, it should be winning or learning, and so it's surely going to help you. So please do
There you
participate in
go.
all the contests.
There you go. A lot like words of wisdom from the great man, as we call him, Karthik. And I so wish you were not in, like, you were posted here in Kolkata so that we could continue working in the student activities team. And I hope we will in the coming years. And yeah, so and I wish that we could continue this chat for a lot longer, but since we are limited on time, I won't take much of your time. That was my last question to you. So since there is like this episodes are focused on our student members, so any final advice, not just for the, you know, for the events and the national events, your final advice being a past student, like just you passed out this year, right? The previous year, and then ISHRAE, being a member of ISHRAE, an overall advice to our audience today.
Okay. So, generally we students and we engineers, we generally do things overnight, and we generally tend to find excuses for not doing those things. So what I would say here is to, do whatever you're doing, do it consistently. Either it is your studies or it is your contest, whatever you're doing, there should be some consistency and there should be certain dedication. Here again, I'd like to share one example which I, personally did. So we went to, in 2018 November, we went for the Fold India contest to Ahmedabad, Gujarat. We were there. So what happened was the day we were boarding our flight for return from Ahmedabad to Kolkata, that was the last day of the NSDC submission. So we did not find any spare time to sit and prepare the report. It was in the way, the onward journey and return journey flight, the layover time we got around 10 hours time, what we got, that was the time when I prepared my NSDC report. So if you really want something, if you really put your actual hard work into something, you will get the outcome. Because above all, there is a power which is watching everything. So don't find excuses of not doing certain things. In Hindi we say कि नहीं करने के लाख बहाने होते हैं, करने के लिए एक चाहिए. So look for that one reason to do the job and be consistent and put your dedicated and true efforts, and you will surely get the outcome. So that's all.
Thank you, Karthik, and thank you to our audiences today for listening in. And I hope that we could bring in every week some of our eminent juniors, seniors, eminent members of ISHRAE who have served the society and are stepping into the industry. Some of them like Karthik, and some who are stalwarts of the industry. So that is all for today. We'll come back with another episode of ISHRAE Days. And thank you, Karthik.
Thank you for having me.